Okay. Today, July 27th, class number 554, the right choice. I want to start by saying, as I was starting up just a few minutes ago, I was letting you guys know that there's got to be a reason why you walk away and you either you believed immediately or you believe, and then after you think the thing is answered or you got your prayer answered, then you start going off into this wait period because nothing is showing up, and then you don't know why. And then the next thing you know, you feel, for lack of a better word, no, the only word, you feel doubt. And doubt is like the weight that breaks the wagon down. There's just no way to get or to have or manifest. That's a better word. There's no way to manifest a form of that which you desire if there's doubt there, because there's no way for it can't come through. It's blocking the way. And so I woke up yesterday and I just this impression, voice, call it what you want. I don't know what you call it. All I know is it was very, very clear. It was crystal clear to me. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1 and verse 2. Now, verse 1, it says, I have answered you in an acceptable time, and I have helped you on the day of salvation. Behold, now is the acceptable time, and behold, now is the day of salvation. Your first inclination is, do I believe that God has already answered this thing and taken care of it before I ever came to him? And we say that all the time. Isaiah 65:24, before they call, I have answered. And we can, it's just amazing. I think I believe. Well, God said it. Well, he has answered. So then I'm like, I'm going out of my way to know the truth. What's up? What is it? I have answered you in an acceptable time. Now, that's the way it says it in Aramaic. I've answered. When? Now. I've helped you. When? Now. It's automatic. You can't not be helped. You can't not receive it. It just looks like it. Now, if you skip down to verse 16, it says, or what harmony has the temple of God with idols? For you are the temple of the living God, as it is said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. That's as clear as a bell. I will walk with them. I will dwell in them. I will be their God, and they will be my people. The next thing I heard was God's job is to maintain and sustain his creation. But that's me. So God is maintaining and sustaining itself as me. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I said, wow, this is, I didn't ask for all of this. It was like, yeah, well, you didn't have a chance to ask for it because I answered it before you asked. See, I know the intents of your heart. I know the feeling. I know exactly what's going on within you. And so you have to come to a point where you know that it's already answered. I'm like, well, how can I know that? I believe that, but I don't know it. How can the belief and the knowing get to be the same thing, in agreement with each other? And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking of this. And I want to take us to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Trust me, this is really going to help. Deuteronomy chapter 30. I want you, now, this is long, but you guys got to hear this. It shall come to pass when all these are come upon you, the blessings and the curses which I have set before you, and you shall call them to mind among all nations where the Lord your God has driven you, and shall return to the Lord your God and shall obey his voice according to all that I command you this day, you and your children, with all your heart and with all your soul. Then the Lord your God will bring back again your captivity and have compassion upon you and return and gather you from all the nations where the Lord your God has driven you. If your scattered ones are in the outmost parts of the heaven of Israel, O Israel, from thence will the Lord your God gather you, and from thence will he fetch you. And the Lord your God will bring you into the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he will do you good and multiply you more than your fathers. What does that sound like to you? I'm letting you go through a whole bunch of stuff so that you can do what? Let me do it. Let me bring you into the place that I have prepared for you. Let me, all things are possible with God, not with man. But man thinks he can do something. Now, I want to hop way down here to verse 11. For the commandment which I command you this day is not hidden from you, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. Why isn't the heart and the mouth connected? But do you see the picture there? The mouth is talking one thing, but the heart is not with it. There's people that honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. You see it all the time. People talking all about God this, God that. God, how great God is. God is wonderful. Ding, 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 ding. But no heart is in it. See, I have set before you this day life and good and death and misfortune. What? I have set before you, I'm going to read it again, this day life and good and death and misfortune. I thought God ain't set no misfortunes in front of you. Okay, but I'm going to clear this up. You're going to see what he means by this in just a second. In that I command you this day to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, then you shall live and multiply exceedingly, and the Lord your God shall bless you in the land which you are entering. But if your heart turns away so that you will not hear, but shall go astray and worship other gods and serve them, I declare to you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not live long in the land which you are crossing over the Jordan to possess. I call heaven and earth to bear witness against you this day that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore, here it is right here. Choose life. But the heart has to choose it. And this goes on to say, God is like, I will circumcise your heart. God's job is to maintain and sustain his creation and to maintain and sustain you, me, and everybody else. But when the heart turns away from God, then what happens is you don't get the life. You get the blessings. You get the curses. Do you know anybody? I know there's nobody on this class like this, but do you know anybody, no matter what, there's always some kind of problem, always some kind of issue, always dealing with something that just ain't it. Oh, Lord, if it ain't one thing, it's another. I know a dude had a song like that. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Why? Because the heart is not turned to God. The heart is where the choice is made. not the mouth. The heart first. The mouth, when the mouth speaks out of the abundance of the heart, then life is expressed and manifest. But that's not what we get. And I saw that, I said, this is amazing. I'm saying all of the right stuff. I believe it, yeah, but there are two ways to believe. One, you believe it, yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, this is what's supposed to happen. Yeah, I believe that. But do you believe it for you? Do you believe it to the point of knowing? See, the heart knows. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever, when the heart is turned away from God, the mouth is speaking what's in the abundance. So if good and evil are in the heart, then if the abundance of what's going on in the heart is evil or mistakes or foolishness, that's what the mouth speaks. Now, if you look at TV and you go out in public every day, the majority of what you're going to hear coming out of people's mouths is what? Foolishness, unbelief. You know, you start looking and you go, wow, man, these people are just dead men walking. Got no clue. I got a call a while earlier. It was from United Healthcare. Mr. Orr, yes, we need to verify that. You know how to do. Yeah, that's it. I live in Upper Marlboro. Yep. Well, okay. But as part of Medicare will reach out to us because they, and they will let us know that you have not had your physician wellness call in a while, and they just, we need to. I said, ma'am, is it a requirement? I said, I had to have Medicare and a choice. But do I have to go to doctors and get a physical and get and have all this wellness stuff? No, it's not required. I almost said, well, then why are you calling me? You trying to get me? No, I'm not doing it. I don't need that. I said, by the way, ma'am, I am very, very, I know y'all expecting me to come up now and say, I'm blessed and highly favored, but I'm not part of that religious crew, okay? So what I said was, ma'am, I said, fortunately for me, I said, really, this is a blessing. I am not on any kind of medication at all, nor have I been for over 10 years. I don't have any medication. I said, in fact, my wife was on this high blood pressure stuff. I think the doctor told me one day that it was messing with some other part of her, making the cholesterol go up and this and that. I said, and then he told me I got to take her off of this. I said, I almost said, well, why you got on it in the first place? Don't make no sense. Now you trying to get me to go there. You know what that lady said to me? Mr. Orr, trust me. I know what you're saying. So if you don't think you need to go do this and you don't have to, you don't have to do that. I said, it's not required. Nope. I said, okay, thank you very much. See, I had that big Medicare plan where you, not Medicare, what is it? Yeah, Medicare. $200 and something a month. And what I was like, well, I ain't getting nothing out of this. I'm just paying in this. So then I'm like, I got life insurance. So when it's time for my transition, my kids can just take okay, why am I telling y'all this? Because my heart is not in doctors. My heart is not in medication. My heart is in God, you're walking in me. I ain't got no business needing all this stuff. So the only reason I'm going to have this Medicare is they say I have to have it. The best call they ever did for me was they called me one day, and they said, Mr. Orr, in your state, you could qualify for a Medicare Advantage plan. I said, okay. So you know the first thing I asked, don't you? How much is that going to cost? She said, well, let me look. Look through all this. She said, oh, you get all the advantages of Medicare, $26 a month. I said, where do I sign? Why am I going to give you hundreds of dollars and somebody else giving you 26? That's like the man and the woman standing there, and the woman say, oh, hotel room, $135 for the night. oh, wow, that was great. And the dude goes, I paid $95. I went on Trivago. That's my whole point. My heart is filled up with God said, I will circumcise your heart. And God said, I'm going to lead you into the place that I have prepared for you. God said, I already fixed your situation. I'm going to set life before you and death, blessings and cursings. How did you set cursings before me, God? Your heart turns away. When your heart turns into the situation where you think you can fix your situation, or you can solve problems, or you can, all things are possible with God, not man. Jesus, in and of myself, I can do nothing. But the Father within, he doeth the work. I'm like, okay, so how does my heart turn away? I just told you. Your heart turns away when you decide, let's see, let me get a good example. You know what, Dad? I'm talking to my dad, me and God having a conversation. You know what? Give me my inheritance now. I don't want to wait until I die. I don't want to wait till you die. That's actually the best way. God, I don't want to wait till you die. But Father, tell you what, give me mine now. I'm gonna go out here in the world, and what I'm gonna do? Be a rock star. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna make this money. I'm gonna get all this wonderful thing going, and I'm gonna build my own. What is it? The scaffolding into heaven, the tower. I'm gonna build my own tower. I'm gonna send rockets to the moon. I'm gonna do all this wonderful stuff. Just give me mine. Okay, here you go. And he takes it, and Michael Ward takes it, and he rolls out, and he goes to record company to record company, and he goes to publishers, and he goes to all of these folk. In the meantime, God is saying, well, let me take care of this stupid dude because he's going to blow it. He ain't smart enough to realize he got kids, he got a wife. Let me keep him in the job before he hurt himself. Let me keep giving him some work before he just makes a complete idiot out of himself. And so it's like, I don't care about this job. Oh, okay, here's a promotion. I don't care about this job. Oh, okay, here's a different one. Here's a better job. Oh, the stuff that I did not care about, my heart wasn't in that. Just going right on up the hill. Human resources coordinator, personnel, human resources manager, senior manager, human resources. Just more money, more problems. What do you mean more problems? Trying to figure out how to live on as much of yours as you can spare because you're trying to still get this career going in this music thing. And it ain't happening. And it's not coming. You don't understand. Something's wrong. Well, it's the choices. The choices. That's what's wrong. What choice? You trying to get this thing. Well, God gave me a talent. I'm supposed to do something with it. Yeah, you're doing something with it. You're doing something with it. You got it out there rolling in the mud. You're trying to become, if we go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 6, down around verse 14, it says, in the King James it'll say, I think it says, be not unequally yoked with unbelievers. And in the Aramaic it's saying, do not marry an unbeliever. But most people look at that and they think, well, don't go out here and marry a person that does not believe in God and da-da-da-da-da. Well, how do I know this person believes in God? Well, they go to church. They go to church every week and they talk about how, I went up to the altar and I got saved. Okay, so it's all right if I marry this person. That's not what that means. That means do not marry anything that is outside of the auspices or the controls of God. If it's not like God, don't marry it. You wonder why the world's in such turmoil? Because it's outside of the will of God. I don't care who they are. Presidents, dictators. Do you think that their heart is totally lined up with God? Do you think God would have everybody, this is the latest thing. They got mad at Barbie. What did Barbie do? Barbie, she made Ken look stupid. Now, we know who got mad at that. The movie Barbie. Come on, man. Oppenheimer. You think God, if a man's heart is totally turned at one with God, do you think that man would come up with a bomb that would explode and destroy a country? Is that the heart of God? Love your neighbor as yourself. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. Drop the mic. How you going to do that? You know most people don't love the Lord their God with all their heart. They love the things that they want with all their heart, their mind, and their soul. Now, how you going to love your neighbor as yourself? He lets his dog poop on your yard, and he don't clean it up. They don't speak to you when you. There's this one little Asian lady. I don't care. You know what? This was yesterday. I was jogging, and I came across the bridge, and this Asian guy and this Hispanic guy, they came, they looked, they said, "Hey, how you doing?" And then there's the other Asian lady. She was like, "How are you today?" "I'm fine. How you doing?" "Well, hey." But there's this one little lady. She got this little hat on, look like Vietnam, and she will not speak. I don't care if her life depends on it. And she's seen me 50 times, but she will not speak. And I'm like, does she love me the way I would love her? How about people that tell you stuff like this right here? You ever had anybody say this? You talking to them and they go, "Oh, wow, man, I got to get this call right quick. I tell you what, I'm going to call you right back." And 3 weeks later, you still ain't heard from them. You ever had that happen to you? I'm going to call you. I'm going to give you a call. And you don't get it. And you say to yourself, man, good God. People just want things. And you're supposed to sit there and look and call it an illusion. You already know that it is, so you ain't got don't get yourself all confused. The people are into themselves, and that's it. They want what they want. As simple as that. And the heart is far from God. When the heart is turned toward God, a person is not sitting around all the time talking about the problem, talking about struggling, talking about how I'm going to get out of this. No, like the thing I said, I spoke at a church in Virginia one time, and I said the title was, "What am I supposed to get out of this?" And the answer was, out of this. You ain't supposed to be in it. So looking at all of that, and here's Michael still back there wrestling and tussling in the mud, and, can you get me this song? This was the latest one. Can you get me this song? I'm working with somebody, and they're ready to put something in a movie. They're looking for music for a film that they're doing in Detroit. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool. Jamal was just saying it'd be great if we could get our music in the film and what have you. And the only reason I did it was she asked me for it. And I said, okay. And we went out the way and put it together. I ain't here for that woman for 3 weeks. Never heard nothing else after I sent her the song. Then finally in the end, guess what the answer was that she gave me? Sent me a text message. You know, people send you a text. When you got some type of a relationship with them, that a business situation or what have you, they don't want to talk to you now because they don't want to give you no answer because they want to keep a door open in case something comes up. And they go, send you a text. I cannot right now afford to take time away from the projects that I'm already working on. Man, I'm trying to tell you, my boiler room just started to just get hot, and I almost sent her a text back scathing, saying, you asked me, you called me, I didn't call you. You asked me for this, but don't call me no more. Then I said, no, that's all right. I can keep the gate open the same way she did. So I'm just going to love my neighbor as myself. And that's what a little button went on. No, you don't. No, you don't. You mad at that woman. You know good well, so you got to go all the way back and go, where's my heart? Where's my heart? It always starts with you. Where's my heart? What's my attitude? Okay. So how do you forgive? Well, if your heart ain't turned toward God, ain't no forgiveness. There'll be words out your mouth. It's the choice. I choose to do what? Let my heart be one with God. That's when we're talking about oneness. You know, Kenny and I were talking the other day, and I said, you know why people, I'm at a point where I know why people cannot say, I am God. Why? Because when they say I, well, think about it. What do you think when you say I? You think the image in the mirror. You think your concept of yourself. You think the remembrance of yourself. You think Michael Orr. That's what you think when you say I. You don't think I, Son of God. Now, it's real easy for you to say, I is more than a letter in the alphabet. I is God. Am I right? You can say that. You don't have a problem saying I is God. You don't have a problem saying I am God. Why? Because the am for you makes it personal. But the I is God is very impersonal. You just got, your heart is in the wrong place. Because when you say I, forget about what comes behind it, because there's only one I. And the reason we know there's only one I is because everybody, from the smallest child who's just beginning to talk to the oldest person you know, they all say I. And it's the same I all the time. It is never a personal I. There's no such thing. Because a personal I is personality. That's the first thing. Well, see, I'm not like that. No. That's not you at all. You are the I, the Son of God. And so, as you understand I is God, and you're just going to have to walk around and say that in your head all day one day. Or you might have to say it all a week. I don't know. But as long as you keep saying I is God, what's happening is it's transforming your heart away from your personality. It's transforming your heart away from how people see you and how people know you. I really don't care how people see me. I don't care how they know me. I could care less. It does not matter to me. I know the truth, and the truth makes you free. That's all you care about. Because let me tell you something. If your heart is totally turned to God, remember he says, love the Lord your God with all your heart. Well, how do you know you're doing that? You ever ask yourself, I'm loving the Lord with all my heart. How do you know you're doing that? I tell you how you know you're not doing it. When you say, oh, man, I'm bored. I think I'm going to go out of here. That's when you know you don't love the Lord your God with all your heart, because you already chose to be bored. You chose to say, let me go out here and get in some trouble. You ever hear somebody say stuff like that? Man, I'm going to go out and get in me some trouble. Next thing you know, they come home, they done lost a whole bunch of money. They bought a bunch of stuff that they ain't going to wear. They bought stuff that just is hanging in there. And somebody told me one time, I don't know why I bought this. Why? Your heart was turned toward personality. It's turned toward, oh, man, I sure would. Well, let's put it this way. Ego. Man, I sure would look good in them shoes. I'd look good in that dress. Man, that would hook. Oh, man, I'd be hooked up. Like Jamal's boy, my grandson, he said, no, you're not. See, because the heart is where everything is. It's the core of your being. You love something with the core of your being. What is the heart of an apple? The core. The core of your being has to say, I'm one with God. No core, no Michael. Y'all get that? The core is the self of your being, and the self is God. But if the heart is trying to be something other than that, it is turned away from its Father, from its Creator. It's not one, even though it is, because the principle doesn't change. Now, what I decided to do was I want to Romans 8, 20 and 21. Let me get that right quick. I thought, I did bring it. I thought I brought this little, y'all, I've got so many of these paper Bibles. I've torn up 3 or 4 of these Bibles right here because I'm in them in and out all the time until I ended up with somebody gave me a gift of a hardback of the Aramaic Bible, so I can't tear that up. But I want you to see Romans 8. Let's see. Verse 20 and 21. For man was made subject to vanity. Wait a minute. God don't put you out there like that. Remember? God does not do that. Man was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who gave him, it is, free will, in the hope he would choose rightly. That's why I call this the right choice. You have free will so you can choose rightly. In the hope. God expects us to choose rightly. Verse 21, because man himself shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of light. Sounds like to me, God knows you're going to go off the rails. God gave you free choice, but God knows that man is going to go off the rails. Adam and Eve, did they go off the rails? Oh, I wonder what that tree is about over there. Good and evil. Oh, that tree is one that can make one wise? Oh, wow. I'm going to eat from this fruit. Off the rails. Here you come along, and your mom and your daddy bring you up in a certain kind of way. Wrong. I don't know about my daddy. He wasn't there enough to bring me up no kind of way. But my mama, Michael, if that boy hit you, hit him back. I'm maybe 40 pounds and maybe you're 100. I'm supposed to hit him back. Michael, look here. You oh, wait a minute. What you got those sniffles going on? You must be coming down with something. Wrong. Michael, I'm going to give you, y'all ever had this happen? Oh, it's time, we getting into the winter season now. I'm going to give you some castor oil. We know what that's going to do, don't we? Oh, drink a grape soda to take the taste out your mouth. And you're going to burp all day. Grape soda and castor oil. What else you going to do? You're going to the bathroom, and you're going to be up in there over and over and over. And this is for your good. This is going to help you. Yeah, it's going to help me, all right. But then it got easier. Well, you're a little older now. I'll give you cod liver oil. and you're going to smell and taste like fish. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, but this good for you. It's going to keep you from, it ain't going to keep me from nothing other than wishing I could get out of here and get away from you and this craziness. That's what it's going to do. Child, oh, man. See, God knew you going off the rails. I remember one day, man, I got mad at Rocco Erico because this lady said, the Lord knew that Adam and Eve was going to do that. And he said, yeah. He knew they were going to do it. Ain't no way not to. And then the Lord comes back, and the Bible makes it look like he's saying, wait a minute, where are you? Let's take that in its deepest sense. If a voice says to you, Michael, where are you? Ain't he asking you, where are you in your head? Where are you in your heart? And he's going, why are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Why are you over there? What else did the Lord know? That the man was going to pass it off on that woman. This woman you gave me, yep, it's your fault, God. We know where that's going. It's always going that way. Nobody wants to be held accountable. What? Yeah, see, we were naked. And I'm hearing God's probably going, well, what was wrong with that? I thought you liked that. Nah, okay. Now here's God. I'm going to make you some clothes. And look at what the Lord God does here. I'm going to make you some clothes. I love you. But I'm going to put your hind parts out of this garden. You out of here. Am I lying? Did he say, you know what, you can go, you ain't, you ain't got to go home. But you got to get up out of there. Oh, I thought God was all light and love. He loved you so much. God threw you right out there with the elements. Or did he? Your heart tossed you out there. Your heart turned. You went off the rails, and it tossed you out. Here's God. Did God change? Oh. God said, the day you eat from this, you're going to die. This is going to happen. That's going to. But I ain't going to change. I'm still going to love you the same. What happened? But the Lord did what? Man was subject to vanity, not willingly. See, what does not willingly mean? Didn't nothing come up and go, man, want me to subject you to vanity? And you go, yeah, okay. Nope. You ain't know. Not willingly, but by reason of him who gave him free will in the hope that he would choose rightly, because man himself shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. And that's what's going on with you. God is saying, you done been off the rails too long. I'm reeling you in. I've shown you what it's like out here. It ain't no good. It's the world. So, therefore, it ain't got nothing to do with running up in the front of a church and going, I'm saved because I believe Jesus. You know how many people go up there and do that and all of these words out of their mouth? They go right out of there. And a month later, they're running for some kind of office in there so they can run things. That's where man's heart is. I shut this down too quick. There's one other verse I need to show you. Verse 30. Oh, no. 29. Oh, I'm sorry. 28. And we know that those who love God are helped by him in everything for good. Everybody loves that one. You see it riding on people's license plate. Romans 8:28. You'll see 8:28. All things work together for good. Oh, okay. 29. He knew them in advance, and he marked them with the likeness of the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, those whom he marked in advance he has called, and those whom he has called he has declared righteous, and those whom he has declared righteous he has glorified. That's you. He called you righteous, and he's glorified you. I know. You're sitting there going, but it don't look like it. That's all right. God's still working with your heart. You know what I mean? You catch a bluegill, he come right in. You fishing and you catch a little sucker, he come right in. But you catch one of them big, striped bass, it might be, a foot long, longer than that, 18, 19 inches, and got some fight with him, some great big cat. It's hard. He ain't trying to come in. But God is reeling in by grace. So what then shall we say concerning these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? I don't care what's trying to bring you away from God. You still being reeled in. I don't care who you are. You could be President Putin. You're being reeled in. No matter what. He's going through his hardships because his heart is totally away from God. God said, yeah, but that's okay. You got to come in and you have no choice. Okay. So now that we know that it's all worked out, why do we continue in problems? Now, we know it's all worked out, but we continue dealing with these problems. Why? I went back old school to this here. The Practice of Reality by Lillian DeWaters. I read it again, as my mama used to say, for the umpteenth time. And I read it again yesterday. And this is where it says, illumination has revealed that we should not continue to place God as synonymous with self or I, but rather understand this word to denote the same meaning as Father, or our state of perfection. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You have a state of perfection that is in you that is called Father. And God the Father is the first person of the Trinity. This God, Father, represents perfection, our perfect state of being, body, and universe. God is the very truth, the principle of being, which is immovable, incorruptible, absolute, that to which nothing can be added nor anything taken away. This God perfection is ever included in the I or us. See, there's you, which we call I, and inside of that I is perfection, completeness. Now, she goes on, if you understand that, now remember I started this out with all these I's. I. All of that has perfection in it. However, here comes the problem right here. Here's the problem. You draw a circle and put two lines across. The top you got, I am the self. I am the Father. God, perfection. I am the absolute, reality, truth. I am spirit, being, life, love, mind, creator, body, universe. I am the one totality, all. Okay? Here is the issue. The one who has been subjected to vanity. See, the second position is called the Son. That's you and me. This position of ourself is I want you to hear this now. Activity, our consciousness or awareness, our free will. This is where we think, feel, see, hear, taste, smell, live, and act. Now you understand why Jesus said don't judge by appearances? See? Presumably we have all discovered that our mind can think good thoughts or otherwise. We can make good or create evil. Here, then, is the place of light and darkness, waking and sleeping. In fact, free will. That's the problem. Choose to use the free will the right way. So in the middle space, you're writing, I am the Son. I am consciousness, awareness, activity. Still, see, we're dealing I. I am activity, thinking, feeling, hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, living, loving, creating. I am free will. What am I supposed to be doing? Well, I use one magic word there, awareness. I am aware of the perfection that is in me. I is and I am God. That's where we're supposed to be. Because as long as we are thinking from the perfect state, as long as we realize the Father and Son, perfection and consciousness are one, this culminates in the Holy Ghost, the spiritual illumination, which is the third person. I am the Holy Ghost. I am insight, revelation, illumination. I am the experience of myself. I am the Christ. I am heaven. Kind of lets you in on when Jesus said, whom do men say that I am? And they came up with John the Baptist, come back. Or, in other words, look where the head goes, reincarnation. Moses, come back. Elijah, reincarnation. I can't reincarnate. The personality man can reincarnate and come back. Because God says all will know me. But when I understand that I am pure awareness, I am pure consciousness, and I am aware of the perfection, that's when Peter, his name was Simon, that's when he said, well, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus says what? Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. What happened? You became aware of the perfection that exists within you, and the Holy Spirit said, this is who I am. And I tell you what, going back to what we talked about last week, what you bind on earth, what you loose on earth, guess what? When the heart is turned totally to God and is aware of the perfection that is within, and the Son is doing what the Son is supposed to do, you open the floodgate and you loose what? Everything that has to do with being free. I don't care what it is. It has to come now. And now when you say, well, I know that I already have all things. That's how the prodigal son could. Wait a minute. My Father has more than enough to spare. Even the servants in my Father's house have it better than I do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going home. Now, do you see the Holy Spirit revealed to me what Jesus meant? This greater works will you do because I go into the Father. How is he going to the Father? I am aware of the perfection that is existing within me called I. I go into the Father. I am aware of the Father within. I am one with God. I have no problem. In fact, it's a sin not to be God. Jesus thought it not robbery to be equal with God. And Jesus said, as you are in this world, as I was in this world, so are you. You are the light of the world. So, the end of this is, if we who have free will, we, the I, ever have the will to remain in the Father's house, think from the basis of perfection or not. We choose. You choose to think from the basis of perfection. You choose to say, I is God. You choose to say, I, the Son of God, my heart is totally with God. I am aware of the perfection that is within me, so therefore I am God. I am not a personality. I am not this mortal being walking around here getting sick and having problems and always trying to fix stuff and judging folk and telling people what is and what ain't. That's not me. I'm the Son of God. And I don't care what situation I find myself in, it is my job to choose to be aware of the perfection that is existing in me right then. I don't care what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with me going out here trying to ask folk to help me do anything. Nothing. It has all to do with me saying, I am the Son of God. I am one with God. I am aware of the perfection that is within me. Do y'all think I believe and know that now? Of course. I know this. Why? There is nothing else to be. Anything else is off the rails. running around out here in the wilderness trying to get somebody to help. And folk ain't trying to help you. They're not trying to help you. They're trying to, come on, man. Dude, you get ready to see the battle of the bugs. You get a guy like Elon Musk, Twitter. Oh, I'm going to tear that apart. I'm going to call it X. I'm going to try to get me a trademark. Well, there's already 2 companies out there called X. One from Microsoft, that's Bill Gates. The Russians calling him, asking him, in China, they try. Then there's Mark Zuckerberg, Meta, which is Facebook, that's X. You think those 2 powerful guys are going to say, oh, yeah, we're just going to let Elon come on in and he'll be able to borrow off X? You see, they ain't trying to know. Here's the guy, these guys are putting billions and billions and billions of dollars in stuff that is not going anywhere. But you can stay what? Under the radar, off the grid, just let your heart say, I realize that I'm one with God. This has got to be more than just a statement. Or you're going to keep going in and out. It's got to be more than a statement. It's got to be, I am aware of the perfection. Why am I aware of the perfection? Because I am the Son of God. It came built in. The Son is automatically aware of the perfection. He has to choose to go off the rails. And once the choice is made to go off the rails, then it has to run its spin. It has to find itself in some kind of problem. And once the problem is identified, what does the Son do? Does he keep trying to fix it? Or does he say, you know what, I'm going home. I go into the Father. Every time I become aware of the perfection of God, which is in me, I go unto the Father. And the end of all of this is what? Excuse me. The boy that stayed home, remember him? You didn't never give me a party. Look, you didn't ever give me, who did he think he was? Personality. You didn't give me a party. This boy went off and spent all your money. No, he spent his money. I gave it to him. It wasn't my money. See, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that is mine is thine. That's what God is saying. Lord, you gave Kenny this, and this. Kenny went all off, and he did this, and he did that, and I stayed here with you. Did you? No, you stayed here within yourself making poor choices. You could have given yourself a party. All this mine is yours. You didn't do that. See, that's the whole point. That's where we got to be. I am aware of the perfection. Therefore, properly speaking, the I and God are not synonymous terms. We are the I, and all the while we are free to choose. We find that we think rightly some of the time, but not always. God, however, is always good, always perfection, always fulfillment without beginning or end. Thus, God is our perfect state of being. We choose to move away from the perfection. See, God is not the I. We are the I. And we are one with God when our heart is totally turned to God. Every time we become wait a minute, this situation looks bad. Well, I'm going to choose to be aware that the perfection, the perfect state didn't go nowhere. And if it never went anywhere, then I'm opening the floodgates to the grace. That's what I'm looking for. The grace. It has to come. Why? Because I made the right choice. Amen. So it is.